suspicious disappearance of Miss Lee. We need the community's support to help us and the Lee family find their daughter.
These are pictures of Lee taken at her graduation from nursing school back in December. Friends say Lee was looking for a job and was celebrating passing her boards just a couple of weeks ago.
She just passed the boards the first week of April. She just found out.
Fairfield police say they are prepared for the worst case scenario, that this could be a stranger abduction.
But the key thing is to go to all the stores in the area, get receipts of all the people who shopped around there, the nearby gas stations, and see if you can find a license plate number on the video cameras, because if we don't find that evidence, we'll never find the person who I believe took her.
Police will only say her disappearance is suspicious, that they consider her a woman at risk, and call the circumstances out of the ordinary.
Unleash Your Lawyer is joining us tonight. Renee Rockwell, defense attorney out of Atlanta. Peter Odom, defense attorney also out of Atlanta. Out to you, Renee Rockwell. Let's talk about her computer. We know that she was very fluent, very well versed in the computer. If cops have taken that, what can they learn?
Well, whether or not she had been engaging in any kind of conversations with someone that might have been acting bizarre towards her, maybe stalking her, maybe trying to court her affection. Very interesting, Nancy, and I think they're deep into that computer at this point.
What about it, Odom?
Well, Nancy, I want to know where are the car keys. We haven't seen that, and I want to know what the police have been able to find from her cell phone records. When was the last time she used her cell phone?
What do we know, Stacey Newman?
Well, interestingly enough, I'm glad Peter brought that up because there is a report, Nancy. She made a phone call the night she went missing to a former boss and a friend at a Postal Express she used to work at in Sioux City. He said she was upset about having to pass out flyers for her sister's hair salon, but said nothing about wanting to run away.
Okay, go back to Newman. What is the relevance?
Well, the relevance just back to the cell phone records. Who did she call? Did anybody call her?
She called a friend and complained that she had to help her sister at the hair salon. Where does that get me in trying to find this girl dead or alive?
Well, it's just more for the timeline, Nancy, as far as, like, who she contacted.
Do you know what time that was?
We don't have a time on that right now.
Stacey?
Yes,
please,
Nancy?
come to me again when you have something relevant. Back to Henry Lee. Henry, we've got that. Does it help us with the timeline at all?
Well, the brother tells me, Hong Lee tells me that, Fong Lee did pass out flyers at about noon to 12:30 on Sunday. 3 hours later, she left the house without telling the family where she was going.
Was that unusual? Was that unusual?
Well, yes and no. Hong Lee tells me that she did go to Barnes & Noble regularly to cool off if she had a disagreement and to study.
Whoa, wait a minute. Cool off from what?
Well, in this case, that's why what Stacey says is semi-relevant in the sense that she was upset that she had to pass out flyers. She felt that her older sister, who owns the hair salon, should possibly do the publicity herself. Other than that, it may not be relevant, but it does go into state of mind.
Okay, Stacey, you've been upgraded to semi-relevant. Let's go back over it. Because, at this point, Stacey Newman, we got nothing. So we might as well start at the beginning. So she actually got into a tiff, an argument with the family before she went to Barnes & Noble's?
That's what we're told. And like we heard from Henry, she went to this Barnes & Noble's to cool off, a place she normally went. Cool off from this argument.
Newman, back up. Cool off. What happened to timid, shy, homebody? Now she's storming out of the house angry to cool off? What's the truth?
Well, I don't think they said storm out. That's your
when you
words,
have to leave
Nancy,
the house to cool off.
Well, instead of getting into a heated confrontation in your home, sometimes it's better to just walk away.
Okay,
so
let's
she
go
is
back to
quiet
the
and
brother.
timid.
Hung Lee is with us, the brother of the missing young nursing student, just got out of nursing school. Was there an argument within the family before she left, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
About what?
It wasn't really a big argument. It was just a little minor disagreement. That she called my older sister and complained that she had to go out and pass out flyers during the hot sun while my sister was sitting on the shop with air conditioning. And it's just going back and forth for a couple of minutes.
Okay, hold on. I can't understand what he's saying. Henry, could you make that out?
Well, he's characterizing this as a minor disagreement that may not have any bearing, yet I will go back. It does go into state of mind. The first thing cops want to know is she upset? Is she depressed? Is she stressed? Hong Lee has told me she was not depressed, but stressed out over the job search and a little bit upset over this.
The job search. Okay. So the sister owned a salon and she was asked to hand out flyers?
That's correct. And she did. Fong Lee did pass out flyers for about 20 minutes and everything was fine, but she has complained to people.
Okay, Edith in Massachusetts. Hi, Edith.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
It's so nice to talk to you. I'm a fan of yours from Court
You know
TV.
what, Edith?
Yes?
Likewise. And thank you. Thank you for watching over on Court TV.
You're so welcome.
That was really something, covering those trials live. What do you think about this case, Edith?
Well, I think that I wonder if the information desk at the mall has a copy of the surveillance from the parking lot. I think the abductor maybe approached her from behind.
Well, if it happened in the parking lot, you may be right. And Edith, if she is timid and shy, I mean, if somebody came up to me in a parking lot, I would be ready to rumble because, you know, I cover these cases all the time, much less if I had the twins with me. But if she is timid, shy, subservient in any way, she may have turned around and engaged somebody out of seeming friendliness, you know, thinking that that was the polite thing to do. I want to go back to Henry Lee. Henry, let's talk about this. You're telling me the only video in Barnes & Noble's that we know of is really directed at the employees, and they don't have Lee on the video.
That's right. They don't have her in the video from inside and outside the store. Again, it's possibly for internal reasons for the internal
what about
video.
the parking lot?
Apparently, there are no signs of her outside. Now, keep in mind, this might be because of the specific time of day. There might be cars blocking. We just don't know.
How do I know she just didn't get fed up with her family and leave? Although, frankly, Henry K. Lee, that contradicts everything we know about her.
That's correct. And Hong Lee has told me she has never been missing overnight. We just don't know where she is. And anyone with information is asked to call the Fairfield Police Tip Line.
I know that. 707-428-7345. Dr. Michael Bell, Palm Beach County Chief Medical Examiner, Miami. Dr. Bell, it's now been several days. What are the statistics?
Well, at this point, I would be very worried that something tragic has happened.
I think you're right, statistically speaking. Out to the line, Sheba, Illinois. Hi, Sheba.
Hey, Nancy. My question is, why don't the cops listen to the families?
I do not.
When they have stuff like this, and God, I wish you lived close to me because I need your advice so badly, sweetheart.
You know what? Stay online with the producers. I'll get your number, and we'll call you after the show. Let's talk about.
God.
I would be happy to. Tom Shamshak, explain to me why, when the family calls in, says she's missing, they go, she's over 21, we're not reporting her missing.
Nancy, again, I'll echo what I said earlier. There's no uniform standard reporting mechanism when an adult goes missing in the United States of America. It's an awful experience for families. That needs to be addressed through federal legislation, and I hope that at some point in the future...
So bottom line, are you telling me it's SOP and the cops don't think there's anything wrong with it?
Absolutely. This is how they handle it.
Shirley in Ohio. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, dear. What's your question? I am great. I've been playing all day long with the twins. I can hardly walk. But other than that, I'm fine.
We love them. We love you. We love your husband. And thank you so much for all you do. My question is, I haven't heard it yet, and I don't know if it's been up yet. Has anyone searched the store or the surrounding area?
You know
around
what,
the store?
Shirley? A lot of people might scoff at your question, but remember the Yale professor, the student teacher? She ended up, the researcher, that's what she was. Anna Lee was her name, and she was actually hidden in the wall. Clark, wasn't it Yale University? Yes, Yale University. What about it, Stacey Newman? Shirley's idea is not far-fetched.
That's a really great idea, and I'm sure cops have done that. But back to an earlier caller.
Why are you sure they've done it, Stacey? How do you know they've done it?
Because I saw at least 25 cops, Nancy, in video outside that store, so I know they closed the store.
You got me. What was your other thought, Stacey?
If she was going in and out of the store, surveillance video would have caught her, and I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything about that.